All right, Grant. I've got it recording, buddy, so I'm going to turn it over to you, Grant Reynolds.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris Cook. My name is Grant Reynolds. I'm direct to the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Chris Cook out in Knoxville, Tennessee. I live in wonderful Virginia Beach, Virginia area. And I have a wonderful co-host with me who's absolutely kicking tail, Miss Betsy Barr herself. How are you doing tonight?
I am just doing great, having a wonderful week. So happy to be here. Just at Symmetry in general, excited to be co-hosting this corporate overview with you tonight, Grant. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. My name is Betsy Barr. I am direct to Mark Neubauer, and just so thankful for all that he has done and is doing to help support me here at Symmetry, and Chris Cook and just everyone in the Cook organization. And I also live here in Knoxville, Tennessee with my husband and our two boys. I've been a part of Symmetry for about just over a year, but just gone full-time this past month, and just couldn't be happier to be here, to be doing this. So anyways, Grant, let's get this thing started. Let's tell some people what an amazing opportunity Symmetry is. If you got the right mindset and you're willing to put the work in, man, there's nothing it can't do for you.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Let me share my screen with you guys, and we're going to get rocking and rolling. All right. So what we're going to go over is a few things here today. So get your pen, get your notepad. Okay. We're going to have a good time. We're going to go over who we are. We're going to go over what we do, because you may be here because somebody said, hey, you need to come and see what's going on. You may just have started. You may be in licensing. You may be in your first week. You may have been here a few weeks. So we're going to go over that. We're going to talk about how we actually make what we do happen, and how that impact that we make results in you getting paid every week here at Symmetry. And then we're going to talk about who is doing it. We have a phenomenal lineup of some people who are going out there, getting results, making an impact, and helping families every single week. You're going to get to hear from them, people who have been here a year, 2 years. It's going to be really, really cool. So let's kick it off. So who are we? Well, we were started by some guys who had been in the insurance industry. What you got is Brandon Ellison there on the left with his wife. You've got Brian Pope in the middle. You got Casey Watkins on the right. And they started Symmetry because they saw a problem in the insurance industry of time and money. Most insurance agents that you know are not making good money. I think the average insurance agent in America makes $34,000 to $42,000 a year, but they work their tail off because they spend 80% of their time trying to sell to their friends, family, and build a book of business, and 20% of their time actually selling. And so what they wanted to do was to try to fix and bring some symmetry to that, where you could go out there and work with families, make a good impact, and get a great income while still getting to see and be with your family, because that's what it's about. And so they started Symmetry back in 2009. So what is it that we do? That sounds cool. Well, we do a lot of things, okay? We do mortgage protection. What that is, it's a life insurance where we take life insurance tools to help people protect their home. So we make a really incredible impact on people because we make sure that they don't lose their home. If something happened, I think 51% of foreclosures happen because of a death or a disability. And so we get to help people not do that. Today, right before the conference call, got done with an appointment, or right before the call, ran an appointment, wrote an application, approved on the spot, get paid tomorrow. So pretty neat. From there, though,
I think you just summarized what we did, Grant. That pretty much just summarized.
That's pretty much what we do. I picked up the phone, I called them, booked an appointment, found a solution that fit their need and their budget, wrote the application, got approved. There you go. The cool thing is, though, you're not just stuck there. From there, you get to help these things because we want to protect people on their life's journey. And so not only mortgage protection, but you have the best product suite in the industry to be able to meet families where they are all throughout their life's journey to make sure that you can be that person to serve them and help them. From our life products to health products to even some really neat stuff. I know, Betsy, you're going to talk about it because you're killing it, helping people get out of debt as well as secure retirement. And so we can't do it on our own, right? You got to have somebody who actually has the product. Right. And so we have the best carriers out there. top rated insurance carriers. I know you can look at this list and you're going to see names that you know. I saw Gerber Life commercials growing up, okay? We all know these people. And we get to work with them, and they really like us because we actually outsell a lot of these people's own agents as Symmetry agents every single year. And so we get to work with, not just do really neat things, but work with really incredible companies to actually solve the problems that our families are facing. And so is there a need for it, right? Because you can have really cool products with the best carriers, but if nobody needs it, it'd be like trying to sell heated seats in Arizona, okay? It's not gonna work. It's like, you gotta make sure that somebody needs it. Well, good news is they do.
They do.
And look at this right there. 87 million households in the United States of America. 7 out of 10 households rely on 2 incomes. What does that mean? That means 7 out of 10 people that live in your neighborhood, if one person died, they would probably lose the home. If one person died, if one person became disabled, their world would forever be changed. A lot of people are seeing some of that when they get unemployed.
I mean, I think a lot of people have seen that just in the past couple of months, don't you think, Grant, with all the pandemic where it's been rough.
Absolutely. And so people need what we do all the way through debt, from debt-free life, which we're going to talk about in a second. Everybody, look at this. These numbers are incredible. 90% of Americans know they need life insurance. Okay? So 90% of people know they need it. 41% don't even have a policy. Do you think, okay, listen, what this means is you could throw a rock and hit somebody that knows they need it and somebody that doesn't have anything. This ain't hard, okay? You could throw a rock and find somebody that's going to need it. Guess what? We throw the rocks for you. We're going to talk about that in a second. And so we connect with these people, products that people need, that they actually want and know that they need. And so, Betsy, you're doing something super amazing that I think is incredible. You're a part of this number here of these families we've helped. And some of you may be like, what does debt have to do with insurance? Betsy, what does debt have to do with what we do? And what are we doing with this thing?
Well, I bet, you were talking about throwing a rock and finding someone that needed life insurance. Well, if you throw that same rock, you're going to find more people that are in debt.
You don't have to throw a rock. Just open your eyes.
You probably just need to go to the grocery store, go anywhere. Sometimes even look inward at yourself, and you've got some debt. And so, there are so many debt relief programs out there. I can't tell you how many people I talk to, and they're like, well, we've looked at this and we've looked at that. And here's what I get to tell them. What we do blows everything else out the water. I mean, it's like nothing else. And so we get to use specialized products with these super high rated carriers. And we get to use life insurance to help people get out of debt at the same time while they are saving incredible amounts of money. I mean, it's just unbelievable. You're preparing them for retirement. They have freedom to be able to make purchases for their family that they need to. I mean, I could spend the whole time talking about how awesome debt-free life is. I can tell you, my family and I are doing it. We just moved into a home, and in December of 2028, Merry Christmas to us, we will own our home completely. I mean, that's what debt-free, that's my personal debt-free life story. But we get to offer this as Symmetry agents, and it's life-changing. It's so exciting. I could talk about it all day, but I won't. But this is something that Symmetry just started offering last year. But the thing is, Symmetry's been offering this type of product, or been having the mindset of wanting to help people since we first started. And so here, all right, if I got the screen, I want to make sure that I'm not touching something wrong. And so we started off down at 2009 when
Does anybody remember what was happening in 2009? 2008, 2009, they decided to start a company with the focus of mortgage protection, okay? So don't tell me people aren't going to buy it. This is probably one of the most recession-proof, pandemic-proof crisis-proof industries that you could be in. The
It's,
numbers
it's
tell
so
the
true.
story.
Well, and Grant, so many companies, we sometimes get, I don't know about you, but emails of, oh, we're making the shift. You can go and we're trying to help people during the pandemic, and other companies aren't able to help people in the way that we are, because on a dime, we just turned and we started offering telephone sales, virtual sales. I've done so much more since the pandemic, just because now my client base is America. It's not the people in Knoxville. I can help anybody. Just last night, I helped a couple in Indiana get policies. So, but what I love about this is my background is actually as a math teacher. And so if you look at this curve, this is what we call exponential growth. All right. You might have heard someone talk, oh, it's growing exponentially. What does that mean? It gets so much bigger every single year. So if you notice, that's what's happening with Symmetry, is it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And with all of the different products that we offer, it is just going up there from our humble beginnings in 2009 with the annual submitted premium of $307,000. I mean, that's what agency directors and such are making in 1 month. I mean, so it's pretty crazy now. 2018, $111.2 million, and just only going up from there. And so, you can see last year, 122.9. The great thing is here at Symmetry, we do love the numbers. We got numbers to back up everything that we say, but we're about the impact, and these numbers represent families that have been impacted and people's lives that have been changed to join Symmetry to make these numbers a reality. Yep. And so you can see, just talking about that, the app count, that's how many families we were able to help. And so in 2018, over 116,000, 2019, 120,000. And so.
Listen, can I say that was the size of the town that I was born in. Okay. Like, I was born in 2019's app count town. Like, just put that in perspective. It's absolutely incredible, the impact that we're making.
Those are people, those are families where when they go to sleep at night and they think, oh, tomorrow, what if the worst happened to me? They're protected. And that's what we do. We protect families. We take care of families. And so just some more visuals of the growth when we first started, 2010 here. You're noticing mainly in the Southeast, way up there, one little northern state, and then boom, this last year, the entire country. All right. And we help an average of 2,500 families each week. And we love it. Like we get to help these families. It's a joy. And so overall, as a company, more than 300,000 families protected, $300 billion in face amount. So what that means is if someone were to pass away or have disability or something were to happen, that's how much money we've been able to cover these families for. And so how much has it cost those families? A total of $398 million. And the thing is, when we have Symmetry agents, we take care of families, and the reason that all those carriers like us is because we keep their business, because we don't push amounts on families that they don't need. We find a niche, and we find just the sweet spot for them. That's what we get to do. So here's, you might be thinking, wow, Symmetry's done a great job. Is there still a place for me? 100% yes. We need you. Listen, this is the capacity of future markets. $2.52 billion in mortgage protection. Okay. Final expense, $592 million. Debt-free life is off the chart. More than $100 billion. Medicare supplements, long-term care, retirement. Guys, we need more people. I know all the people on this call. We need more people. We do. I stay so busy. The other day, I was like, I have to take. I've got to make sure I'm cutting out that time for myself, which I can do. But there's so many families that need help, and I want to help them. And so we need more people to join us. Right now, look at that. We are just barely covering over 5% of the market. We're just getting started. And so if you're thinking, hey, I'm looking for a place to make a difference, I'm looking for a place not just to make a difference in my community, but also in my family. I want my family to be secure, and I want to have a positive impact for me, my family, and my community. You found it here at Symmetry. That's what we do. So, talking, Grant, not just about the families that we get to help, but how Symmetry supports agents. Why don't you share a little bit about that goodness? Yeah.
So remember how I said you could throw a rock? So Symmetry throws the rocks for you. Because remember what we said about insurance agents in the past, right? 80% of your time trying to find somebody to sell to, building those relationships, and then 20% of your time actually selling. So what Symmetry did was they created a lead program where they send out mail to people who have just bought a home, refinance, and they send out mail, and people fill out a form, put down their personal information, walk it to their mailbox, and mail it back to us. Does that sound like somebody who's interested in what we have to offer? Listen, I could take a dog and wrap a policy around its neck in a little bow tie right there and send it into 3 homes, and I get an application back because the people need what it is that we have and they want it. And so we're generating 8,000 to 10,000 new leads a week, which, if you were on the national call earlier today, they talked about we've actually increased, and we're going to continue increasing that number. And so what do those look like? Well, you can see right here what some of those forms are going to look like that a family is actually going to get, that they're going to fill out, they're going to send back to us. And even now online lead generation, which I'll tell you what, I'm loving. I've written a lot of premium thus far on online lead generation. It's been awesome. And so because, see, here's the deal, guys. Not only do we have the best product suite from the best carriers with the best culture, but we also have the best leads that are subsidized at such a high quality, that they're subsidized at such a low cost for an agent that you can get up and started running a successful business. This is really your only marketing. This is marketing, your only overhead, and you can be up and running successful, putting $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 into your pocket each week. That's an incredible thing. And so you can have the people, but nobody does want to go into this like the dog I mentioned, right? You want to know what you're doing. You want to serve your families well. And so not only are we going to make sure that you have those, but we're going to give you the best training in the industry. And that's key.
I mean, the training here, Grant, like I said, my background is as a teacher. So I have a master's in curriculum and instruction. Like, I am passionate about that. And when I started here, I was blown away by the high quality training that is offered, not just on a one-time basis, on an ongoing, every single week, access to it whenever you want it, training that's like you can go implement it right now and it's still applicable, 5 years down the road. I mean, it is part of none.
We almost now have training, ongoing, fresh new training happening almost every day, Monday through Friday, right now. You can plug in and learn just incredible things. But not only that, you're going to have the software tools you need to execute your insurance business well. You're going to have marketing and recruiting assistance if you want to build a business, which we'll talk about in a second. And you're going to have the ongoing support, one-on-one mentorship, those weekly calls we were talking about. And when we can get out of our homes, local, regional, and national training events where we get together, we work together, we train together, and it's an incredible time building relationships. In addition, I mentioned software. Some of the best software you need to create referrals, to add more value to your clients, to be able to find the right products quickly. I don't know about you guys. I had no insurance experience when I started here, okay? I was a creative director in the marketing media world. I didn't know what I was doing. I needed help. And so I had these tools at my fingertips to be able to be successful quickly. Not only that, we always say that we are an insurance, or we're a leadership development company that happens to sell insurance, because we know income follows impact, and impact, you can only make as much of an impact as your capacity will allow. And so you have to increase and grow your capacity to make a bigger impact, which then as a result is going to have more income. And so in order to do that, we have our Agency Ownership Academy, giant leadership training, Thrive, which is a leadership course you can go through, as well as Connect, a wonderful thing. I'm sure I'm not a woman, I haven't been on it, but it's a great call about women in business and leadership. And not only that, but we want to protect the protector. You're protecting families. And so we want to make sure if anything happened to you that you're taken care of. And so now we have free life insurance for our agents for their first year here. That way you can have that and make sure your family's protected, as well as subsidized health insurance. There is no other IMO that offers that partnership in the entire industry. No. And that's a beautiful thing. So Betsy, all that's cool, but you can't pay your mortgage with hugs.
No,
so you gotta make money.
I tried. The new mortgage company, I said, they were like, no, we actually want to check, Betsy.
Yeah,
so,
you can't refinance for hugs, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, no. So anyway, so how do you get paid? Yes, we all need to get paid. So when you start off at Symmetry, you're starting off now. This is just new this month. You get started off at a 70% contract level. All right. And so when you are a part-time agent, part-time means that you're looking at about 15 to 20 hours a week. All right. And now the thing to remember here at Symmetry is that, whoever helps bring you on and is the one to mentor you, they're not your boss. All right. They're not going to be like, come on, clock in, give me your timesheet. All right. That's not how it works at Symmetry. We're looking for people that are motivated. We're looking for people that have got the self-discipline that they're able to do this on their own. And like Grant said, we're going to give you all the support that you need. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to go do it. All right. And so, so what we're looking for with part-time agents, people that'll put in about 15 to 20 hours a week, and you're going to sit with 8 families per week. All right. We used to call it knee to knee, but we can't do that anymore. So Zoom to Zoom or phone call to phone call.
Screen to screen.
That's right. Screen to screen. Oh, I like that one. And so if you do that, you can expect to place about 6 sales a month. And our average premium for those sales would be about $1,000 in annual premium per policy that you write. Now, what the carriers do is they're going to advance you 75%. Okay, so that means if your premium is $1,000, all right, and you're getting 70% of that. All right. And then you take 75% of that 700. So these numbers are what we used to do. And so you get like the annual advance is what you get immediately up front. And then in months 10, 11, and 12, the carriers are going to give you that final 25%. All right. And so if you're writing your business right, if you're following up, and if you're making sure that you get the right fit for families, you're going to get all 100% of that. And that's what we do here at Symmetry. We help families find what they need. All right. And so that's what a part-time agent is looking at. A full-time agent, the process is still exactly the same, except instead of sitting with 8 families per week, you're sitting with 15 families per week. And so you're looking at about 30, 35 hours per week, and that should yield you 15 to 20 applications per week. The great thing is at Symmetry, every 2 months you have an opportunity to get a raise based on the amount of APV that you write. So it's all up to you. It's not based on who likes you or who you're schmoozing at the time. It's all about the effort that you put in. And so here are numbers for a full-time agent, someone at maybe a 75% contract. And so if you're doing that full-time, you can expect on your just kind of upfront, like Grant said, he wrote a policy, it was approved today, he's going to get paid on that tomorrow. All right. And so you can expect just upfront to get over $100,000. And then when you hit months 10, 11, and 12, then you start just getting money pouring into your bank account. I remember when that first started happening to me, I was like, oh, this is pretty nice. I like months 10, 11, and 12, just getting that back in commission there. So that's what a full-time agent can look like there.
And I'll say something on that as well. You see these numbers, right? So 15 to 20 place sales per month. And then you've got part-time 6 place sales per month. Remember we said, what was that statistic? 90% of people, right, know they need more life insurance. 41% of people actually have a policy. And then we're sending out marketing for you. 1% of people that get that fill that out and send that back in. So we've taken this funnel and we've narrowed it down. Do you think that you could find 15 to 20 people a week to help? Do you think you can find 6 or 15 to 20 people a month? 6 people a month.
Yeah.
Well, then there you go.
There you go.
I know people who find 10 to 15 people a week.
A week, yes. Well, and you know, the thing is, we've got all these resources available to you. This is just if you're doing kind of like the minimum, the basic average there. You can do more than that if you want to. You know, but the thing is, it's about the effort that you put in. And so one of the things that we've really been talking about in the cook group is having a process, you know. And so one thing Chris asked me, he said, you know, when you were a teacher, when did you go into work? I said, I had to be there by, you know, 8 o'clock, and I couldn't leave until 4 o'clock. And that wasn't, you know, I decided every day if I was going to go in or not. No, that was my job. And so here at Symmetry, my process is that I will sit with 15 families a week. That's what I do. That's my job. That's what I do. If I write, like I had a good Monday and Tuesday, but I still haven't had my 15 sits. And so I'm still working, you know, I'm not taking the rest of the week off. And so here we're looking for people that are willing to put in that process. But I know that when I do that, I'm earning the money that I need for my family, and I'm able to have the time that I need for my family and for what we like to do in our community. My husband's a pastor, and we like to serve in different ways. Some other things that I really get excited about with Symmetry is it's not just how I can help families with debt-free life and with mortgage protection and retirement, all those things. I can help other people come on board, and then they can help other people as well, multiplying the impact that we're able to have. And then that's enabling me to have permanent income. And Grant's going to talk about that here in just a few minutes, talking about building your own agency and creating that system-driven income, so that even if, you know, I want to take a week and just really focus on helping my husband with the church, with an outreach or something in our community, we would still be able to be making money for our family that we needed. So that's the kind of difference that Symmetry makes for me. And so Grant, tell them how they can become an agency owner here at Symmetry.
So that's my story, right? So I came to Symmetry. I didn't really want to be in sales. I liked helping people, but I immediately saw the correlation between impact and income. And so if I could go help 5 people a week, I'm making an impact. My income follows. If I could go help 2 other people, help 5 people a week, now together we've helped 15 people, which means my income is now growing because I'm solving problems, right? I'm making an impact. That's what happens when you find a need and you solve it. I'm helping people with their lives, transform their lives with that work-life balance, increasing distribution for the carriers. And so your income follows. So what does that mean? Well, it means that you can become an agency owner here. And so I started in March of 2018, 0 insurance experience whatsoever, 0 sales experience whatsoever. And I was able to become, I signed my agency ownership contract December 2018, 10 months later. And you do that with 7 unique riders, $50,000 in annualized premium volume. You and people are going out there and helping more families. The neat thing, like I just said about that, is it's a true contractual ownership. What that means is that if something happened to me, my agency doesn't disappear. If I was anywhere else, guess what? It goes back to Symmetry. Here, it's mine. It's LLC'd, it's willable, transferable, sellable, all of those things. And so that I'm leaving a legacy for my family while helping other people leave a legacy for theirs. So how does that work? Well, the insurance carrier is going to pay you the difference between your earned commission level and your agent's earned commission level. Okay. So let's say you've been in this thing, you've been working it, you've earned the 85%, you've brought in 3 people that you thought would be sharp in this business. They're at a 70% contract. And so that difference between your earned level and theirs is called spread. It's 15%. So the insurance carrier is going to pay you 15% of what your team is doing. Pretty neat. So if you have a $50,000 a month agency, you're still leading from the front because that's what we do. Leaders lead. And so you're still going out there and helping families. You're generating your own income, but then now you have the income from your agency as well, and you can see the impact of that. And then it only continues to grow from there to the point when now you're no longer in the field and you're leading leaders, and you can see what happens. Impact, income always follows impact. Now, the neat thing is we also got more trips and incentives. Insurance carriers are going to send you on trips around the world with you and a loved one. Not only that, but you're also going to get trips from Symmetry Financial Group as well. And so there's a lot of beautiful things about what we're doing. And I have the privilege, though, to introduce you to somebody who's doing it. So Jeff has been here roughly a year, coming up on a year. Last week, he wrote 9 applications for $9,207.
Woo!
That's for a brand new agent. That would be $4,833 advanced into your pocket. If you did that 48 weeks, you gave yourself 4 weeks of vacation, you made $232,016 in advances, not counting bonuses, not counting back end, not counting raises. So Jeff Miller, show the people how it's done.
Wow, I've never taken 4 weeks vacation in a year in my life.
Yeah, I mean,
That would be great. Thanks, Grant. I appreciate it. Again, my name is Jeff Miller. I am direct to the great Joe Martinez. This guy's amazing. He's been a great coach for me and kind of teaching me about this business and learning it. Just to give you an idea about my background, I've been with the company about a year, like Grant had mentioned, on a part-time basis. I actually owned a farmer's insurance agency and for about 10 years, and that's a great company, great business. But it was more like a job, and I was looking for more potential for me and my family, something I could build and leave a legacy, and also give me that 4-week vacation that I never had. I started part-time a year ago. I went full-time with Symmetry just after the 4th of July weekend. And wow, the first 3 or 4 weeks, I have to admit, I was a farmer's agent. I was very successful with farmers insurance, did very well. I was always in the top 1 or 2% of the company for writing new business. And when I went full-time here in July, I thought I could do it my way. And it didn't work very well. So I went and decided to listen to some of my peers and start doing what I'm supposed to do. So started following the rules, following their guidelines and their scripts. And amazingly enough, the last 3 or 4 weeks for me have just been amazing. Just amazing. It's just made a big impact with me. I can see things coming together now. It's pretty awesome. It's really just enlightening for me. Trying to think what else here. I'm in the great Phoenix, Arizona area. So I'm new to the area here. So it doesn't matter where you live. You can write business in the state you live in or other states. So that's kind of cool. I'm trying to think what else here. Probably the biggest thing that I've enjoyed, honestly, is the culture with Symmetry, and Chris Cook and the team and the group. Just the support's amazing. It truly is. It's just been a blessing, and I look forward to it every day. So I love helping people out. It's just been a great start for me, and I'm excited. When I grow up, I want to be like Grant. So my next goal is to be an agency owner, and I'm going to work hard to get there. So I know I can get there.
That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, if you could give anybody a piece of advice, right? They're getting started, first 90 days. If there's something that you could give to them that if you're like, man, I wish I would have grabbed a hold of that, what would that be?
Really just listen to the people getting you started that are helping you. Really, we all have our own ways of doing things, and we've all been successful in different things. So really listen. I mean, the system that Symmetry has is truly, it's just, if you just follow the scripts, you listen, there's some amazing training audios. Everybody's helping out with different training. So just really be willing to learn and forget what you learned from the past, and just listen to their system, follow their system. It's great.
That's true. That's so true.
Yeah. So anyway, I get the great privilege of introducing a guy. When I first started working full time back in July, watching the little texting and our group me that we watch, I kept seeing this name pop up, this Elijah something. And I'm like, who is this guy? And I kept seeing his name and issuing these policies, and come to find out he's I guess he's been with the company. I think he's been with them just over a year and a half, 2 years. And I guess his first year part-time, which is amazing, going to school in college part-time, made a little over $60,000 on a part-time basis. That's just amazing, Elijah. I don't know how you, just getting through college is tough enough. And I know he's on track this year to break at least 100,000. And he's just killing it out there. He's just doing amazing stuff. So I'm always watching to see what Elijah's doing, because I can always see his name popping up doing great stuff. So it's all yours, Elijah.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me okay? You guys got me? Sweet, sweet. My name is Elijah. I'm direct to Grant Reynolds. I stepped outside because the lighting's a lot better out here. And this is an incredible company. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about just how good of an opportunity it is, because I don't know if you can go anywhere else where the opportunity is quite like this. And so if you're on the Zoom, one of the questions I would be asking myself is, can I do this? And then after that, if you can, because you can, is do I want to do this? And so you might want to do this if any of what I'm about to say resonates with you. So the opportunity here now is bigger than it's ever been, especially for people who are new or people who want to build a team here. And so if you have ever desired to open up your own business, with Symmetry, we get to build a business with other people's money. How cool is that? And where can you go and make six figures, multiple six figures in year one in a brand new field with no degree, no industry experience, or sales background? Where can you go and not only have the freedom of being your own boss, but also have a system that is proven to be successful time and time again, that costs you nothing? It's a franchisable style system. It costs nothing to use except hard work. Where can you go where you're able to have an impact on individual people's lives daily with cutting edge products that they asked for, then turn around and impact people further by sharing this opportunity with them? Where can you go with the cost of an insurance license, build a team where you earn a $50,000 a year passive income in 6 to 12 months? Where can you go where you're able to establish generational wealth for your family that stays in your bloodline for generations? Like Grant mentioned, it does not go anywhere when you die. Your family is taken care of. Where can you go where you're a part of a team of elite leaders focused on growth, development, genuinely helping people with a culture that spurs you on to do the same? Where can you go as a brand new agent starting out day one and earn $12,000 or more in bonus money in your first 90 days on top of your regular income? Where can you go and help people get completely out of debt in 9 years or less, including their home, without spending any more money than they already are, like Betsy Barr's doing? This is the place where you can do every single one of those things. The place is here. The time is now. We need you yesterday, and we're just getting started. For me, Symmetry Financial Group is not only a career, it's become a home, it's become a family, it's even become a ministry for me. And it's something that gets me jacked every single morning to wake up. I'm so excited to go to bed at the end of the day, satisfied, so I can wake up and do it again. And if any of this resonates with you, this may be the opportunity for you. And I have the pleasure of introducing somebody in this business who it wasn't even in my hierarchy. She's not even in my upline, but she helped me master the phones with dialing. I would plug into her Zoom sessions all the time. And she's one of the best key leaders, not only in our team, but in the company. I would say her integrity stands out with just how genuine of a desire she has to help people day in and day out. And she's absolutely killing it here. And so I'm gonna bring on Jordan Gillum to talk about what we've got next.
hey, and I'm going to make myself tiny because I don't like talking to me. I like talking to you guys. And thank you, Elijah, for those kind words. Integrity is actually one of the most important things in my life. So that really, you know, I always want to be known as somebody who does what she said she's going to do. And, you know, and that's important to me. Thank you so much for that. I am Jordan Gillum. I am the wife of the most amazing man in the entire world, Jared Gillum. He is the other half of our organization. If you're brand new in the Gillum agency, I am the person you haven't talked to yet. And so I have the pleasure, I've been asked to speak tonight on some positive impact points of building a business here. Because we all know, I mean, we've covered it tonight, you can make a great income just by helping families from your house. I am in my dining room right now, by the way, which is my office, and I'm surrounded by dogs, and I'm really happy they're not making any sound right now. But building a business, I have a quick story actually that happened right before the corporate overview that my husband pointed out to me. We were coaching a new agent who was running some appointments on building value over putting the focus on the price of the insurance. And through practicing him asking quality questions, we just decided to do a quick run through of like if he had never met me before. And I gave honest answers of what would happen if I died. And, you know, it was eye-opening to see the difference in my life if we didn't take advantage of the building aspect of this business. Because I have a lot of life insurance on me for a 27-year-old. You know, not a lot of 27-year-olds have life insurance. And if it wasn't for this industry, I wouldn't have any on me because I wouldn't have seen the value of it, to be honest with you. But I see it every day by, you know, talking with people. And whenever he was asking me the questions of helping me, you know, understand my situation like we do every day in the home, I realized my life insurance would pay for all of our bills and funding our business for 1 year. And I just imagined to myself, if we didn't build a business, what would happen to my husband? And I hated that. I really did. I sat there and I was like, and he asked me, he goes, does it make sense for you to have more life insurance? I was like, it does. It really does. But what we have here is the best thing in the entire world. And it's consistent passive income by impacting people's lives and teaching them how to fish, basically. And helping them get out of that realm of feeling like they need to have all this insurance on themselves, because if they didn't, they would be screwed, which is true. It's true. If I didn't have more insurance on myself and we didn't have the building aspect of this business, my husband would be screwed. Vice versa. Pardon my language if you don't like that word, but it's true. There's really no better way to put it. Bulletproofing ourselves is what building a business does. If I die, my husband's going to be okay, and vice versa. The income still keeps coming in. And I can't ask for anything better in my life than that. Building a business is my retirement. Building a business is my future. It is how I'm going to do whatever I want to do, you know, and do it with my husband. Our life will not change if I pass away. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be here anymore, but the income keeps the same. How many people can say that? How many people can say that right now? And if you can't, that's the reason why you should build. And I love that. I love that this is the opportunity we have. And that is exactly why my husband and I build. Not just for us, because of how many people in this world need something just like that. And that's why that's all I got. That's the positive impact of building. And with that, I will be passing this on to the person who has taught me everything that I know. He has literally shown me every aspect of forgiveness. He's shown me every aspect of what it means to accept someone for who they are as they transition and change. He has taught me basically how to get to know myself even when I didn't like myself. I literally have one of the greatest relationships with somebody I didn't have a good relationship before because of the fact that when you get to know yourself and there's things that you don't like, you're going to blame other people. You know what I mean? And Chris has loved me through it all. Loved me and my husband through it all. So I have the pleasure of introducing our agency director, Chris Cook, just to close us out with some final comments. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for allowing us to even do this call.
Well, thank you, buddy. I love that. That was awesome. Great job, everyone. Great job. And I have the tremendous honor of being on the team with all these beautiful people. It's truly, when you start out in this business, and my name is Chris Cook. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm direct to Symmetry Financial Group. Me and my wife, we started here at the company 6.5 years ago. And I interviewed with Brandon Ellis and Casey Watkins over at the corporate headquarters in Asheville, North Carolina. And I didn't come here because we weren't making good money where we were at. I was already working a position. I was making good income, much like Geoff Miller over in Arizona. He was doing good at his current position. I was doing good at my current position. But we came here because we saw this an opportunity. We had a 4-year-old named Reese, a 1-year-old named Noah, and we saw this as an opportunity not only to produce an income, to produce an impact, and to produce a legacy for our boys. And that's what got us excited. That's what got us excited. And I just, I look back and in these type of meetings, I get to see these wonderful people that we've got to meet through different walks of life over the past 6.5 years. And I see what they're starting to create for them and their family. And I tell you, that's a special feeling. I mean, I was really good at helping people out, apply for, mortgage protection and life insurance. I worked a lot of years doing that. But this impact is so much more because you see it every day. Like I got to go visit that family one time when I helped them, but building a business has allowed me to see people develop. See a Grant Reynolds start out here at the ripe old age of 22 and then go build his business. See Jordan and Jared develop, get married and develop as a couple. You know what I mean? And just see that development and the awareness in their self. And I just love that. See a Betsy Barr that's a career teacher, ministry work all over the world. And she's been a career teacher, never knew there was something else out there that she could go and impact even people at another level. And now to see she's created this debt-free life that's, man, I think she's like saved people over $6 million, you know what I mean, in money. So it's like crazy how huge of an impact. And to see Geoffrey Miller, I remember when I first talked to him and he just reminded me a lot of myself so much because he was doing great at his current career. It wasn't that he wasn't doing good. And I love that, but he just wanted more, and he wanted more of an opportunity for him and his family and to get to meet him and his son out in Phoenix. God, it's probably been 9 months ago or something like that, Geoffrey, right? With you and Joe Martinez is out there with us, buddy. And my heart's full. And, I will just say for all of you have this opportunity. You can be a personal producer if you're looking at us. You can build a business. There's certainly, Jordan laid out positive impacts. It's been a huge positive impact for us and our family. We get to help families. We get to serve people in one capacity or the other, whether it be that life insurance or whether it be helping them build a business. Something our CEO had talked about today on the call, they talked about ears, right? A lot of you are like, what are you talking about ears, man? That guy with the country accent is talking about ears for. Well, ears are equity appreciation rights. And that's something that you can come here, build a business, and become independently wealthy if you start qualifying for these. Tier 1 is $500,000 through $1.75 million issue paid. And a lot of you won't even understand that lingo. Just know that it's pretty darn awesome. Right? And you can get some of these. We're getting these in the mail this week. A lot of our people across the country are getting these, people that have built the business and went out there and got that and made more impact. And it's life-changing. The lowest bonuses there, folks, we're talking above, and I'm going to talk a little bit about money because it's legacy type stuff. The lowest bonus on there is like $77,000. Just in tier 1, it tops out around $250,000, $300,000. It's just crazy stuff. Just crazy cool stuff that you can get. And it's just an amazing impact that Symmetry has provided for us and our family over the things. I remember this when I interviewed, I asked them at the end of the interview, I said, this looks good. I want to build a business. And they said, great. That's exactly what we want you to do. And I said, what do I need to do next? And then guess what? I did it. I didn't negotiate with success. I didn't negotiate with it. I just simply did it. I didn't say, well, but or no, you know what I mean? I didn't negotiate with it. I just simply did what they said to do. And then once I completed that task, what do I need to do next? So my challenge to you tonight, if symmetry is a fit for you and you're unlicensed and you're looking at this for the first time, whoever got you on this call, give them a call and ask them, what do I need to do next? And simply be willing to do it. For 6.5 years, I've been doing it, and my mentors have laid their heart and soul out to me here at Symmetry. And it's been such a rewarding endeavor for us and our family. And, you know, I just know for a lot of you out there, this is a fit. Remember, if it's not a fit, don't worry about it. We wish you the best of luck in whatever career you find. But if this is a fit for you, that's my challenge to you. Call those people, ask them what you need to do next, and simply do that thing. So I appreciate everybody. Great job tonight, team. And thank you guys so much for joining us for our corporate overview. See y'all.